Yo, what up, boys? Alright, so first of all, the reason I'm making this commentary is because, Exceptions and, Swag were like,
you used to make a commentary about the CA merge. You want to know what you think about the merge.
So, yeah. So first of all, I'm going to be talking about the negatives and the positives, but before that, I want to go into a small rant. And before that, I want to say is that I do indeed love EU players, just that some of them are a pain in the ass, and it's not all of them, it's just like the dumb ones, but and this is basically why. So the mentality of them is that if they're gonna go clan war, they're gonna join a room with an elite mod and ask them a million times, play, go forward, take off elite, you're abusing, when you haven't even played that fucking clan. Now this is pretty simple. When you're in my room and you join my room, is that first of all, if you ask for elite off, you can fuck off right away because we're not taking it off. It's pretty simple why we don't. Mainly it's because we have played a bunch of clan wars, and I'm saying that the hack rate on CA is really low, but we ran into one hacking clan, and that's because they wanted elite off, but we started the game with elite on anyway. So basically, like that's why we keep elite on. So if you break our rules, you're getting kicked the fuck out, or if you hack, you're getting kicked the fuck out. And it's pretty simple. Either we write the rules, which are pretty simple to read, and if you don't read them, it's not my fucking problem. You're gonna get kicked if you break the rules. It's obey or get kicked. Simple as that. So when you come here with this intimidating, or like trying to intimidate while saying, oh, I'm frapsing or print screen this, but I don't give a fuck. You can fraps that shit and upload it to Pornhub for all I give a fuck, but you're still gonna get kicked if you break my fucking rules, right? You little fucking motherfucker. Alright, so, want to get into the positive, the negatives first and positive afterwards. So, for you guys who haven't noticed, is that EU merged with NA, meaning that now there's only one launcher that basically combines all the servers, which is EU, NA, and global. Now if you want to play with EU players, and if you're an NA player, you go to global. And global, that's where NA EU players always play. One of the negatives though is that there's been basically a ping decrease, obviously because you're playing again in EU servers, which sometimes can get really annoying because there's a lot of people with 1 bars, and people join with 1 bars in your room, and they start like basically like stacking a bunch of 1 bars. Rooms get really fucking laggy, and yeah, it's so like my friend ends up having to kick them because it just becomes really unplayable. Now the other negative thing is that with this merge, EU is NA is kind of dead, because before the merge there used to be like Papa, Bravo, and Black Market. Basically, like Bravo had like 4 or 5 channels, and they were always filled up. Same with Papa, there was always like 5 or 4 channels that were always filled, and in Black Market there was only like 1 or 2, maybe 1 all the time. But yeah, so that's the other negative thing. And I mean, it's not a complete negative because you can still play with EU players, which it's alright. And I mean, there's only an NA, there's only 1 full channel, which is alright too. And the other negative is basically what's it called? Yeah, the EXP system is basically gone. If you don't know, in NA we always had like a 10% boost on Bravo servers and like a 50% EXP boost in Black Market, which basically for us it was easier to rank up. But now since we basically merged with EU, and I think it's EU running shit, or I don't know who it is, but that 15 and 10% is lost, so ranking up is harder now. But I mean, it doesn't really matter because I mean, rank you don't really, well, I mean, it kind of matters if you want to get a major 2, so you can get a Premier Elite. So if any of these EU fuckboys come in, you can kick them. And yeah, so let's see, is that basically it? Oh yeah, I mean, for what I heard is that forgeable weapons are not a thing anymore, and I think it's mainly because NX weapons basically became available for GP for rentals for a day. I think that's why, which is, I mean, it's stupid and not at the same time, because I mean, I think the only reason they did that is to attract more players, because CA was kind of dying out, so they had to do something to basically bring back the players, and I think that's why they basically made NX weapons available for GP. But I mean, I don't really give a fuck, because I wasn't a really huge NX spender. But I mean, it sucks for everyone who spend, you know, hundreds or $1,000s on NX guns. But I mean, they got them perm, and you can only get them for 1 day. So I mean, it was worth it, I guess. I mean, so the positives are, what's it called? They're like, before the merge and the patch, they put out a fail patch, which basically like decrease everyone's performance. So like, they basically, like, the CA was really poorly optimized, and that's probably one of the reasons I quit back then as well, is because I would always get like massive FPS drops, and I would always like what's it called, I always lag a lot, so that's why. But now I play and it's basically smooth as hell. I like, the only times I really get FPS drops is when my computer is basically hot, but it's not really like all the times. And yeah, I mean, that's one of the positives. The FPS, like, CA got better optimized, better performance, so that's a plus. I mean, the other thing too is, apart from like what I said about EU players, not all of them are bad. If you had EU players you played before that you had to use a VPN to go to EU, or if you were a EU player and you wanted to play with an NA friend and you needed to use a VPN, well, now you don't need to, because we're merged, so that's a positive. Like I said, not every EU player I hate, so yeah. And the other thing I noticed too is that there's not that much drama going around compared to what I remember. I mean, there's always megaphones constantly calling out like people, or calling out clans, or, you know, a bunch of like drama going on in lobbies, whether it be because of hacking, power leveling, or, you know, other fucking like scamming and shit like that, which I don't see at all anymore, which is good, because I mean, that's all bullshit anyway. I guess the other like positive slash negative thing is the EXP system. I mean, that's one of the reasons why I guess there's no drama really. It's because there's not a lot of people power leveling, and I think that's one of the other reasons why there's not that many NA players playing anymore, because the EXP is kind of gone, so they're not really grinding out, you know, EXP. So I mean, that's basically a positive negative, I guess. The other did I already say? Yeah, so I already talked about the forgeable weapons. I mean, that's really it, basically. So if you guys are still thinking about, oh, should I come back to CA? You know, CA, good game. You know, oh yeah, there's also new maps and stuff. I think there's like 3 new maps or 4 new maps, and there's like a bunch of new guns. Oh yeah, and all the NX gear besides the recon is for GP as well. So I mean, if you guys are into quarantine and you want to go free run like fucking ballerinas, 316 throwing a nade in there like Stiff Ninja, you can, but you can't buy recon vests. And yeah, I mean, if you would ask me about if you should come back to CA, then I would say yeah. I mean, the only reasons I play it is mainly because, like I said, like I have friends that I play with. Like we recently just started a clan, which is going really good. I mean, we've been fucking we've been beating the shit out of EU clans like nothing. Yeah, so like the only thing is, also if you guys want to join our clan, it's the requirements are I think like 1.0 KDR, and I think the rank was like a second lieutenant plus, but I think it doesn't really matter. I mean, you can add me or add any other admins. I'll leave our IGNs in the description if you guys want to apply. But yeah, so if you're asking should I come back to CA, then I would say yeah. It's not that bad of a game, as long as you either like, if you like playing solo, that's fine. Everything seems pretty good. Besides, also the other thing is when I play in global, I get rage kicked a lot by EU players, so I always have to wait for my friends to get on because they're much higher ranked than me. Because I play on an alt now, since there's really no point of me playing on my main, so I always have to wait for them to get on host room so I don't get kicked. And yeah, and the other thing I noticed too is in global, it's a farm fest, mainly because everyone that joins global is really low rank. So every time we try to start a game, we do, but everyone's really low rank, so it's kind of not a challenge. So that's why it's only rare when we play in global. The only reason we play in global is mainly because one of our friends, basically, like, his IP is basically screwed up to where it's not allowing him into NA servers, which is another bullshit thing. Also, the other thing too is, like, what the fuck's up with EU's TOF? Like, EU players are really fucking sensitive, mainly because, like, both of my friends got chat banned for saying, I think it was shut the fuck up or fuck you or something like that. I don't know. They talk a lot of shit. They talk a lot of shit, but it's all in, like, good fun. But EU players take that shit seriously, so they say, oh, print screen, frap scene, and then they send it to Nexon, and then, well, their asses got chat banned. That's why when I play, like, when I clan war, even if the fucking EU players are being really disrespectful, I always try to, you know, tell them in a respectful manner to fuck off, but not really fuck off. So yeah, I mean, that's really it. So you guys like this CA merge, guys? No? Okay, I'm fine. I'll cry every time. Alright guys, well, I'll see you guys in the next one. I'll probably be making another commentary soon. But if you guys didn't notice, I'm really rusty at this. So yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Peace.